Today, we install more Car Builders products. We've got the Car Builders Door Restore Kit going in the Ute. We also have an oversized box of Car Builders Mass Liner, which is essentially insulation going in the Ute. Lastly, this is your chance to win this fully sick custom D12 Drift Ute remote control truck. So watch the video, subscribe and comment, and you go into the chance to win this one. Just got back from Repco with yet another Car Builders kit. So what we got today is the Door Restore Kit. So if you're not familiar with it, we'll do a quick unboxing, but essentially it's just the plastic that goes on the inside of your door trim and stops all the water coming into your interior when it rains or when you wash it. So on the Ute, these have been, the original ones were half torn up and half missing, so thought why not, while we've got it all apart, we'll do this. In previous times I would have just ignored it and not put it on, but I'm trying to make this Ute a little bit nicer. So what do you get in the pack? So open it up and do a bit of unboxing. It's essentially a couple of things. So you got this stuff here, which is your adhesive tape, and known as a butyl tape, so water, heat resistant, etc. Years ago when I was working at Mitsubishi on the production line there, they called this stuff Dum Dum. Not quite sure where that name came from, maybe someone knows, but if you do know, add a comment, let me know why we called it Dum Dum back then. You can buy this separately if you need to just reuse your original plastics, or you want to reuse your original plastics, but it's about $30 odd just for that by itself. And then you get, it's one big plastic sheet that you then cut down to size. So it's a two-door kit. I found there probably wasn't quite enough of the Dum Dum or butyl tape to do two doors, but there was plenty of plastic, so I've ended up buying two kits to do my two doors, but you could definitely get away with just using the one kit if you wanted to. Right, we'll get stuck into it. So our first job is just deciding where we want to put the butyl tape. So you want to cover up any of your holes, and ideally you want to seal around any of the main holes. So for me, I'll probably just run it up over there, along the top, down. We'll do a loop around that hole, right down to the bottom edge here, loop around that, loop around that, loop around that. Take that off, do a loop around there. So basically every hole gets a full seal around it. So I'll start on the top edge, and hopefully I don't block the camera view as I do this, but it's pretty straightforward. I say that as I mess up the very first thing, just bear with me a second. So remembering that no one really sees this, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but like everything, try and get it as good as you can. When I said I just messed up before, it was just because I accidentally peeled this backing tape off of it, which I want to keep on there. So going around most of the holes, just left that top one up there, which won't matter, no water's going to get in that. Come down this side here. The butyl tape's pretty flexible, so it'll just wrap to wherever you decide to put it. You do want to make sure you don't go anywhere where the door trim won't cover it. For some reason today, this backing tape keeps wanting to peel off. It might be the weather that we've got, so might just rip a bit off. and start with a fresh bit. Let's see if we can get it running a bit better with a fresh bit on it. So we've got a pretty cold day here in Adelaide today, so I think this probably would prefer it was a little bit warmer. Sorry if I'm getting in the way of the camera there, it won't be too long. And I'm just going around doing all the outside of the door first. And we'll meet up in the middle there and just tear it, just stretches a little bit. So if you've got it anywhere where you don't want it, you can just, while it's fresh, just peel it off and re-stick it. So next one we're going to do is around where the interior door handle goes, giving it a little bit of space. Yeah. Make sure there's enough room for the actual door handle. Just not doing a very good job today, but it'll be alright. You'll see. We'll just, you get the gist here, so we'll just skip the rest of me putting this on. I'll come back to you once that's all stuck down. Now, some pelican forgot to turn on his microphone, or the battery went flat on it, so lost all the audio for these next bit of video. So I'll just narrate over the top for you and let you know what I'm doing. But effectively, we've got all of the butyl tape installed now. So in this section, just peeling off this, I've just pressed down all the butyl tape with my thumb and hands, and just peeling off the backing tape. So in the next couple of slides, you'll see me, I'll start putting on the actual plastic next. So all I've done with the plastic is I've cut it to the sheet roughly in half, and then started sticking it down across the top of the door, and then working my way down the top. When I get to the window regulator, just need to cut a little X on top of that to stick the window regulator through the hole, and then keep working down in sticking it all from top to bottom. Once it's installed, then you'll see I use a heat gun on it, and the heat gun is designed just to shrink it down a little bit and helps it shrink around some of the curves and things like that. So not 100% necessary, but I just find it fits a little bit better by doing that. But warning, if you are using a heat gun, use it on a low setting and don't hold it in one spot for too long, because it will melt and burn through it. So literally a couple of seconds, and then use your hand to sort of mold it around the curves as well, and that'll help you to get any of the wrinkles out that you might have got in there as well. And just for trimming it up, use a fresh Stanley knife blade. If you don't use a fresh one, you won't just end up getting frustrated and ripping the plastic rather than actually cutting it. So important to just make sure you got a sharp blade on there. So this section here is just literally trimming it up a little bit, and that's about it. After getting all the plastic installed, once you're happy with it in the position it is, then just give it a firm press all along all the mouldings and cut out any sections that you don't need. So this part here I'm just cutting out around the interior door handle, and the only other section that I really need to cut out on this door at the moment is for the speaker. So to do that, again, just a cross or an X through the middle of it, and then just work the blade around the outside edge of the speaker hole to get a nice neat cut. And then the only other spot on this door that will need a little hole in it, which I haven't done in this video, is up by the door lock up the top. There's a rod that comes through there, and when I do that one, I put a little slit in the plastic and then a bit of tape either side to stop it splitting any further. Earlier in the video you would have seen me holding up the leftover tape that I had, and that was all I had left after doing one door. So personally, I'd buy yourself at least an extra roll of tape if you're trying to do 2 doors with one kit, or just make sure you only do the outside edge of your doors. Video to tell you a little bit more about the WPL D12 drift truck that we've got for giveaway at the moment. So this is a fully custom built remote control car by WPL. It's been painted by myself in coral blue with a custom metallic flake, body kit that's custom tray, custom painted Wintabi drift wheels. Its headlights light up. It does drift, although I haven't driven it yet, and I won't drive it before I give it away. And if you're into your model cars, then this is a great way to start out, and you can buy a whole heap of different custom parts for it. So to go into the giveaway for this, all you need to do is be a subscriber and comment on the video, and this will be the last chance to win this one. So get on board, good luck. Alright, so here's the finished product. All I've done is gone around, just trimmed it up a little bit more where I thought it needed some extra trimming. Use the heat gun just to get it to mold a little bit better around things, and to give myself a bit of a lift on the build. I've also just finished installing some new speakers in the door, so they're 6-inch Rockford Fosgate punch speakers, and so that's now pretty much ready to start putting the door trim back on, but I can't do that because I've got to paint all the door trim pieces and that first, and the weather here is just not good enough for me to be able to do that painting just yet. So waiting for some good weather so I can paint those all up. Off camera, guys, I've just been installing this mass noise liner this afternoon as well, but I've run out, so I need to get some more to keep going. So this box gave me about enough to do a bit over half a U, so need a little bit more to finish her off, but I'll run you through. We've got a couple of options for this mass noise liner. Oops, I'll just put my microphone back on. So a couple of options for carpet underlay. The standard stuff you get is this one, and this is the car builders stuff. So what's the difference between the two? You might be able to make it out on camera if I put it up on edge there next to each other, but similar thickness. Car builder one's probably a couple of mil thicker, and this one here will absorb water, and has been sitting in the shed collecting dust for a long time waiting to be used. This one here won't absorb water. It's got rubber. Looks like my microphone died here again, guys, so apologies for that. I was just saying it's got the rubber outer and a really dense foam backing there. So in a second we'll just walk over to the car and I'll show you what I've installed. So got most of the passenger side down. So I started by lining up it with the back of the tub, and then cut out around the main seat rail and cut out around the other seat bolts. Put a couple of slice cuts in it, and just to get it to fold around up the top a little bit. Not sure what I'm going to do over the transmission tunnel, because I think from memory it's a pretty tight fit to get the centre console on there. So I'm worried that putting down the insulation over that might actually bring the carpet up a bit too high to be able to fit the console nicely. So, but I'll figure that out. I might just run a couple of small bits across the top, and then we've got the other side to do. So this pretty much used up one box of the liner, and I'll need to go and grab another box tomorrow and to be able to do that and finish that off. Thanks for tuning in again, guys. And if any of this has helped you out, appreciate it. If you could just give us a comment, like, or subscribe to the channel, would be great. Thanks again for tuning in. Cheers.